Hey everyone, let's talk about the second unit that we've gotten this week in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and at the Dynast-King's Scion Ashe. Is Ashe ruining the game again? Nah, she isn't even that good, but let's find out in this rather short review today. So in base form, she's a magic tank. In Brave Shift, she's a support and a quote-unquote healer with a single healing ability. I guess that qualifies these days. So what I find funny about her magic tank form is that she actually has a fire magic ability. So, anyway, Chaos Awakened Frames, fire magic, 800x, single cast. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. And in Brave Shift, she's got Machine Achilles, 250, single target, magical machine killer. Nothing too super fancy. It's there though. So the overview. Yeah, the base form, left hand side, right hand side, Brave Shift. Base form, nothing too super fancy, honestly. She has Stone Killer in both forms, Fairy Stone. And as for her tanking capabilities, as you can see, she has an active provoke with 75% mitigation, that's general mitigation, and she can provide a 30% general mitigation, which I find super disappointing. Other units do have much better than this. Other than that, standard cover stuff, honestly. She has Shelga with 75% magic mitigation, so all is well, but the real thing that she's actually missing is a huge damage cooldown, which every single other tank has. Esther has one, Chao has one, even the TP units such as Warrior of Light or Fledgling Warrior have one. She doesn't. That makes her rather weak-ish compared to those. Now, one thing, if you're checking out the wiki as of this review, as of today, the wiki states that the Trustmaster passive activates with the Vision card equipped. That is not true. But the Trustmaster passive, if you unlock it via the TMR or STMR first, it's not that shabby, 200% true double hand, or true single wield, I should say, magic spirit, 500 spirit and magic static, and 200% magic and spirit alike. So that's, if you're wearing her STMR, you shouldn't really wear her TMR, honestly. She does get a good bit of stats. The Brave Shift, on the other hand, I included that healer role spell at the very bottom right. It's create Ga, not Ja. That's adding insult. That would have been good, but not Gumi, Alum being Alum, they added insult to injury, only gave her Cure Ga because if you're a healer, you shouldn't have Curator. That would be good. So we're not doing good units here. Curator has to be more than enough. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What I really find irritating though on her kit is Enfira Ja, which unlocks at EXP plus 5-turn fire imbue for the party with 45% fire amp. I mean, there are units, not gonna name names, but Roberta, who imbues, amps, and imperils fire 5 turns, 45 amp, and 135 imperil. Spammable. I could spam this 3 times on a single turn if I wanted to. I can do this with Ashe too, but she'd have to be EX plus 3. Your EX plus 0, Roberta and Ignitos do that just like that. They don't need anything. So yeah, that's a really bad decision. Why this is even an EX plus 3 ability on global, I don't know, but I guess Gumi just went copy past the lazy mode. Didn't think of anything good or worthwhile. So here we are. Fun fact, she does have Protect Ga in her Brave Shift. I did include this at the very bottom. It's only 50% though, because it's Protect Ga plus 2 and not plus 3. Other than that, rather standard stuff, increased resistance to all status elements. So she does have a half decent supporting kit, but it's missing Mirage, for example, a huge stacks of Mirage, which every global supporting unit these days has. She doesn't have that. It's rather disappointing. So, a Brave Shifted LB and LB. The base form LB, 35% Mace Imperil. Nice stuff, honestly, even though she's wearing a sword in her base form. Full. Other than that, 150x, Spirit Scaling, 88% blah blah blah, attack and magic, Imperil or reduction, 75% magic, damage. Oh no. I should think for a second before I speak. So 70% general mitigation and racial mitigation, 85% against stone and machina. Last bit, actually the kicker of her kit. That type mitigation is nice, but who cares? She's a dark vision unit and we don't care about dark vision. Boss is doing some damage because we can negate it with actually good units that we have from the Gumi team. The Brave Shifted Limit Burst, it's an auto revive, 4 turns, 350 all status increase, 250 LB increase, which cannot be dispelled, and a 150 all party members physical and magical, fairy, machina, and stone killer. I do like the Brave Shifted Limit Burst, but again, we have units that do all of this on a cooldown or on demand. Rather unfortunate that she has to wait for a rather costly limit burst at 90 LB crystals to get these nice bits. Rather disappointing again. And the disappointment doesn't really end here. So TMR, STMR, Vision Card TMR, your standard series trash, 500 static magic, even though she's not using magic. And other than for her 1 Chaos Wave Awakened spell probably. And 50% Omni Killer Physical Magical. Yeah. Super Trust Master is an accessory usable by females only. Please keep that in mind. But most mages are female these days, for that reason. And it's 90 magic, which is the highest accessory for magic that we have. 32 defense and 80 spirit, also making it the highest spirit ring. Well, together with the Clash one. So rather decent in terms of stats, actually really good in terms of stats, and 30% MP cost reduction makes this pretty cool, honestly. I like it a lot. Also, Ashe variants gain 500, not attack, but spirit and magic. I missed that part. Oopsie, yeah. I should have adjusted this, but it's, I believe, spirit and magic. Let me quickly check in the game because I actually logged in for the first time today. And we're talking at 10 PM, by the way. So I believe it's spirit. Yeah, it's magic and spirit, so sorry for the typo there. And a vision card lastly, spirit 100 at base or level 10, base 100 spirit, 50% spirit at level 4, 50% true single wield spirit at level 7, and 500 static spirit for Final Fantasy units, aka just herself. Because nobody else from the Final Fantasy XII universe wants spirit other than her. So yeah, all in all, just an okayish TMR for herself, but I wouldn't ever use it. The Super Trust Master is superb though, and the Vision Card is pure trash. So technically speaking, the STMR is the best mage and SPR accessory in the game, outside of the Clash Ring obviously. So honestly, if I had more luck and if I had gotten a lot more Ashe, I would have gotten as many STMRs as possible. But my luck being my luck, only having 1 Ashe ever, probably never gonna off-banner her. Too bad for me. But it's good. Okay, I also went ahead and calculated the damage. It's nothing really to talk home about. I just did this for completionist's sake. So this is the build. She's using a spear because she's a magic tank, so she can use Shankel's spear, which is unironically best in slot for her. And yeah, I mean, playing fancy. As you can see, she's at the very bottom. So I also included Sylvie's buff for 170 total, and it's just nothing. But she isn't really meant to do damage. It's just some very minor chip damage, and she just doesn't compare to global units. So the verdict: she's a 4 out of 10. Still a solid unit by alum merits, I would say, or yeah. She can't really compete against global units, but that's to be expected. Global units are actually good. The global team actually some effort into these units, whereas Alum, it just does whatever they want, don't care, just push them out, spin the elemental wheel each week or every 10 days, and just go with the flow, I guess. So what actually makes her rather decent tanking capabilities, even though she pales in comparison to global units. Furthermore, the STMR is rather good. What's more, the Mace Imperil is good, but what I dislike is that she has no Imperil whatsoever, so I actually deducted a point for that, while I didn't add a point for the Mace Imperil. So, or actually, did I? No, I didn't. Yeah. Because the reason why I didn't give a +1 for the Mace Imperil is she's not using a mace. She can technically use a mace. She could use Maeve's mace in that case. But if you have Maeve, you would never use Ashe. And considering it's not worth giving a point for her. Because maces outside of Maeve are not meta. And unless we actually get the Legend of Mana collab, maces won't ever be used. So, while it's cool that she has it, she herself most likely won't use it because, or if she could, you could use Maeve instead. She's the better tank. So all in all, Trashy Vision card and the 45 Imbue and Amp is locked behind X+3, which is a huge no-go considering the other options that we have in the game. I deducted a point for this as well because it's such a dumb decision by A. Alum, that first of all, but B. Gumi not fixing this and making this a baseline ability. So yeah, Ashe serves no purpose in this meta. We have global units that do A, much more, and B, way better in every single regard. So, what's also making this even worse for Ashe is that the tanking role is currently super oversaturated. We have Esther, we have Esther, we have Chow, we have Maeve. There are so many good tanks in this game right now from the global side that do so much more things. And there's also better tanks coming from the JP side, mainly Cecil, who is such a good tank. And Cecil, the upcoming Cecil, that's probably 3 or 4 months out still, he does fare well even against global units. And that's something to keep in mind, or to be actually surprised by, because Cecil actually is a good. And when you consider all of the facts right now, Ashe is just has no place. So completely gets decimated in a tanking role, pales in comparison against global units, in a role that is oversaturated anyway, and the support and healing role of hers is just decimated by Paladin Sylvie as well as Roberta and Ignitos. Both these units just say don't use Ashe. So yeah, anything else that Ashe does, global units do far better. All in all, Ashe is just more bait, but for beginners, she is a half decent magic tank. And I guess this warrants the 4 out of 10 if you're asking me. Ashe is 1 out of 10 because she has no place in this meta. Just a very unfortunate position for her to be released into a meta where we have Omnicover tanks doing far better buffs, doing far more party support, yada yada yada. And also the units that we have with all of these Omnicovers, they can actually deal some damage, mainly looking at Esther here. So that concludes today's review. Like I said, it's rather short-ish. So thank you all for watching. We'll see each other tomorrow for the very quick Leviathan rip-off kill, and that's gonna be it for this week for Dark Visions in total. I'll speak a little bit about Dark Visions and my plans going forward for Dark Visions, but short version, no more Dark Visions for me unless it's capable. See you then, bye bye.